Welcome to Dental Unscripted, where Mike Dinzio and Paula Quinn break down the practice ownership journey, one episode at a time. Starting up, buying, and running a successful dental practice.
What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dental Unscripted. My name's Michael Dinzio, one of the co-hosts of the program. We also have Paula Quinn on the phone, as always, with a different flavor and take to the program. If you guys haven't met Paula, you're in for a treat. She's here. She's here to stay. She's here to stay, and now the co-host of the program. Really quick, let me just get some what am I trying to say? Some housekeeping things out of the way. If you're listening to this program on Startup Unscripted or Acquisition Unscripted, please know we are merging everything to Dental Unscripted. So go ahead and get into your phones and type Dental Unscripted, and you'll see a turquoise and navy blue logo. That is where everything will be posted here soon. I think the last episode that we're going to do, I think we're one or two away from officially going all in on this new brand. So please follow along and subscribe to the new one. So today I'm excited because we get a chance to talk about cloud software, cloud services in general. And we have a treat in having Dr. Rania on today, representing Oryx. She's going to have to give us our background, but Oryx has kind of come on the scene over the last few years now, pretty hot, and they've caught our attention. So we thought it'd be a really good opportunity to have her on the program and just discuss kind of all things cloud and software services. So welcome to the program, Dr. Rania. How are you doing today?
Great, thank you. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, of course. So tell us a little bit about Oryx, because, to the average bear, I probably, I'm sure a lot of you know, but it's a fairly newer software. So why don't you just kind of give us the 30-second kind of elevator pitch on who Oryx is and even your background. I'd love to hear that as well.
Yeah, sure. So Oryx is a cloud practice management software. It's evidence-based, so it has a lot of clinical components built into it. It has everything a practice needs to operate in the modern world, I would say. So everything, patient communication, billing, insurance. It's really the only practice an office would need to run on.
Awesome. Nice. And your background, Doc? You're a dentist, I assume?
I was a practicing dentist for a long time. I had a startup that grew really nicely. And then I got pregnant. I had to be on bed rest because of my twins. And my practice that was growing rapidly started going downhill. And I had very good associates, very good people working with me. And I'm like, nothing really changed. And this is when I realized, we had specific systems that were mostly in my head, and I was the implementer. And when I was out of the picture, things were a little bit.
You didn't leave your head there, right?
Yeah, that was a mistake. So I started organizing my ideas, my way of doing an exam and treatment plan that was very heavy evidence-based, with the collaboration of the COI Center into more of a program. And it just grew from here.
So you helped develop this, Dr. Rania, or you did develop, or maybe not develop, but these are all in Oryx. This is what was in your head is now in Oryx, or?
Yeah, the clinical side, at least of it, that's how it started. I just wanted to create a clinical program for my practice that tied the important things for me to happen. Let's make sure every patient has a great experience. Let's make sure every patient pays and leaves us a 5-star review. And in order for all of this to happen, we need to go through these specific steps. So originally it started as this idea. My husband is a software developer.
Oh, how convenient.
So that's how it started.
Okay. Can I butt in, Michael? Can I just jump right in? Okay.
Sure.
So the burning question is always, and I think I finally have my elevator pitch on this, but it's still always the question and kind of difficult to answer. So hopefully I am not putting too much difficulty on you, but what is the main difference between the cloud-based and a server-based? Everybody asks, like, what, because cloud's the rage now. I should go cloud. I don't want a server. What, in your opinion, if you can answer that, is the main difference? Oh, you just create that.
I would say it's really a crazy question that we still ask in dentistry. Like, we're probably the only or one of the few industries that still have an on-prem solution. The whole world is on a cloud. In terms of security, I don't think anyone can secure. There's a lot of great IT companies, don't get me wrong on that, but I don't think anyone can secure their servers, backup, do what Google or Amazon can do for millions of businesses. So I think in terms of security, scalability, it's very important. And for the offices, the constant access. So you're on the go, you're at home, you want to check your scheduler. Today we have a snow day.
Where are you at?
Northern Virginia.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know you guys got snow days there.
Yeah. So you can log in, do everything you need to do from your home. So, and also the cost saving on servers, maintenance, all that cost. I think that would be the really big reason for anyone to go cloud.
So are most IT, is this putting, I mean, obviously it's not putting them out of business, but when an IT company is nervous about, okay, wait, I'm not going to get my monthly maintenance, my monthly backup, my monthly this, I mean, what do you, and these might be two IT technical questions for you. We're here to more talk about the software. So if you don't know, I totally get it. But
no, actually, that was our fear at the beginning, because we're like, oh, IT people are going to be against us. But you still have a lot of security in the office that you need an IT person for. And once we started working with them, we work very closely and we get a lot of referrals from IT companies, because they feel that with Oryx, there's very minimal support that they have to do. And it's great for them. So now they're only getting the call on, how do I hook up my printer? Or I want a separate internet for my guest. Little things like this, but they're not having to deal with my server crashed. That's
get over here and stack.
Like the serious problems. So for them, they're charging a tiny bit less when an office is cloud, because they're not doing the backup, but they can take way more offices than they could if they were all on-prem.
Awesome.
Do offices still need some kind of local backup though, or no? Is that a misnomer?
No, they don't need a backup. And I know we store everything on Google Cloud, and I know we have, they have so many safeguards and backups, but like being a dentist and being a bit crazy, I'm like, I need to back it up somewhere else. So we also back up on Amazon.
Okay. I got you.
Which doesn't make sense, but it makes me feel safe.
So with that also, because I should probably know more about this than I do. One of the things I always talk to dentists about, especially in transitions, when they're acquiring an existing practice, less than a startup, is they're always, if they get in one of those 30, 40-year practices that have charts out the wazoo and they're scanning them, there's always that fear of taking up so much room because the PDFs, or even after a while, your referrals and everything. But I'm assuming with cloud-based, you don't have to worry about space on your computer ever running out. You just buy more space, or
right. It just happens. For me, it just happens.
It just happens.
I'm sure someone is monitoring.
Should we get your husband in here? Do we need to ask him?
We're having more servers.
And in the background, like Oz making it happen, or it just happens? No. Okay. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that stuff, because it is a thing. after a while, you're gonna run out of space and be outdated. So that's kind of interesting. It just clicked in my brain that you wouldn't have to do that. And you said earlier that you're an all-in-one solution. I know that more and more there are these third-party companies helping practice management systems, and practice management systems are also trying to be in that competitive field. But is there anything you can think of? I mean, probably phones, but majority everything from analytics to forms to insurance is all done in Oryx. You don't really need anything outside of Oryx itself.
Yes, so most of it is done in Oryx. And at first we tried to integrate with different solutions, but we realized that the way we have the data, the way we have the whole patient experience, it had to flow nicely. It had to make sense together. So when we tried these integrations, it became a bit fragmented. So from the way we collect our information, our patients' form are extremely engaging. They're picture-based, like patients love filling this out. They get a score. So now they're excited to come and understand, why did I get this specific score? And then the patient goes through a very systematic exam that we created. And that's one of the huge values of Oryx. The minute that the dentist is done, and that's 5 to 7 minutes, the patient is walking out with a personalized risk assessment report. So it has the patient's photos, it has the patient's risk, it has a documentation on like your perio stage 2, and that's why we need to see you at X frequency. And patients understand what's going on. So sharing that data with the patient and sharing that experience made it easier when we created all of these pieces in-house, because like you finish your exam, the treatment plan is done. Now all the consent forms are automatically sent to the patient. All the post-op information are sent
based on the procedure that you've put in the treatment plan. Awesome.
Right. And it all talks together, and it all goes and checks the checklist. So when you go to a patient's checklist, you know that all of this was automatically done, but like one thing the patient did not do ahead of time that you have to go and manually check.
Does it force you to do existing restorations and perio charting? Does it? No.
No.
We need like stoppers in there. They can't like move on to this until they've done this. That would be great. So can you now, I'm assuming you can now code out a risk assessment. I mean, whether you want to charge your patient or for not charge them or not, but you could now code a risk assessment. You do that?
We do that.
Okay.
And it's like from the very beginning that we started to do that, because like one of my vision and John Coyce's vision is we want to move dentistry into more of a diagnostic and more medicine model than it is like just procedure based.
And it should be, right? I mean, it should be.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do with staging and grading and all of that, like make it more streamlined to medical. So I love that. Well, I don't think I've had a demo, but I had the pleasure of talking to someone and seeing. Now I'm really excited to see a demo of it. So I'm going to have to jump on the thing after and do like a demo of it. So
click the link below, Paula. Click the link below.
Oh,
yeah. No, that's great. So Doc, can you kind of go through maybe a little slower, because you're probably used to just rattling all the different services?
Well, you told her elevator speech, so.
Well, no, we're way past the elevator speech. We're in it right now. We are in it. So Doc, like the all-in-one solution, this idea, like it's very hard to do, right? And having all of these different things into one program. Can you give us kind of like the majors of the all-in-one solution so that the audience can understand what you mean? Because we do have a lot of listeners that don't own practices yet. And then we have some that do. And I would say the majority are still local. You know, that's the vast majority. That's the 800-pound gorilla. And the folks that are on a local server, they have, quote unquote, the luxury of picking and choosing all these different companies and shopping them and pitting them all against each other. Your program has all of them in one deal. So walk us through kind of like what are all those and the benefits of having it in one place and only having to deal with one company.
So I don't want to be very boring with the laundry list, but I'll do it more of like a patient journey or an office journey. So you have your online scheduling, and you have these links that as a marketing company, it could be tracked. So like already from a marketing perspective, you're tracking everyone, and the patient goes and books an appointment online. This is super customizable, so the office can choose what they want to show. Do they want to accept the appointment or not, or like allow them to just go in? So a lot
that's always scary, right?
Yeah.
Offices like opening up my schedule. So you can say certain days, certain times, open up different
certain providers. So it's extremely customizable. Once we do, once the patient books an appointment and it's accepted, they're going to receive their forms. So they're able to complete medical history, dental history, as I said, very engaging forms ahead of time. And it syncs directly with the office. So there's no extra effort that needs to be made to get that syncing.
Can I ask you a question about the forms?
Sure.
I'm assuming they're customizable. Are there already templates in there to take a lot of the heavy lifting out, and then you can just tweak them, or what do those look like?
Yeah, so
going nuts over there. I don't know what's happening.
So we have templates, and we've partnered with the COI Center for the evidence-based piece. It's templated and it's very engaging. As I said, it's picture-based.
And these are both like new patient forms, we would call it patient forms, and eventually consent forms. I know you're not there in the journey yet, but it would also.
It's really all the forms. If you want like a financial form to be signed ahead of time, it's there. They can take a photo of their insurance card if this is one of the fields that you want filled ahead of time. And now the office gets notified that you have all of this from the patient. Then they go, and if the insurance information is verifiable, they're able to verify and get a full breakdown that syncs automatically into the software. So you don't have someone calling for eligibility and doing line by line item. If it's information shared by the insurance company, it would auto-populate. Now we have the risk for the patient from what they answered in the medical.
Wait, let me back that up a minute. So it's kind of like you're getting it from the insurance verification, kind of like they're eligible. It's filling in what it can.
Right.
Okay. So have you worked with other softwares where when you do insurance verification, some of them get more than others? Sometimes you get a little bit of a breakdown. So it's kind of that same concept. It's whatever the insurance company is willing to share. You'll get some of that information.
Exactly. So for some companies, it's just this patient is covered and it's going to expire on this day. And for others, it's like a million fields that you can fill out.
Okay. Well, I love that. That takes a step out of things. So, okay.
Right. And now we're ready for, we have the patient risk. So if, let's say I have a junior associate and they don't feel comfortable doing very big cosmetic cases, and we know that this patient said that they want to change their smile, they want to do all of this, we can move the patient to where they need to be, or bring them on a day that the periodontist is in the office because of all the perio issues that they said that they have. Then we go through the very systematic examination that I mentioned. The minute we're done with the examination, you hit generate progress notes, and all the notes are generated. We also have our own native AI where you can record the conversation with the patient and it's going to summarize it. And then you can just change a few things. We have an AI component for the radiographs that could be embedded into the software. So for that, we use a third party, but it's part of our package, and it's an option. And this would be shared on the patient report as well. We have voice activated perio. So also the perio chart is voice.
Dentist dream. No assistant. We've got a voice activated. Does it work pretty good? Because I know there's a learning curve sometimes with the other ones out there.
We tried so many different models, and we have a lot of hygienists on our team in sales and boarding.
So it's pretty bulletproof. Gotcha.
So yeah, I want to say they're difficult to satisfy with the, like for me it's like, oh, it's okay. I'll enter these few numbers.
I know, trust me, I know.
No, I don't mean it that way, but I mean like,
I do. No, I'm joking. No, that's really something, Doc. So can you think of anything that Oryx doesn't cover you on? Maybe that is a better way of approaching that question. Like, are you guys working on things? Do you offer VoIP phones? Like, what is it that Oryx doesn't pick up?
So we integrate with Mango on the VoIP phones. I would say that's the only external integration. No, actually, there's one more. The eScript. We don't do it ourselves. It's an integration, but everything else from billing, revenue generation, automation of the invoices, all of it is built into Oryx.
Nice.
What we're working on is a lot of automation. So anything that works with a click, now we're trying to remove that click where we're, like you go 10 times a day and you do this. Just trust the system and let it do it. One example of that is the claim auto attachment. We know if it's a root canal, we want the PA of the tooth, we want this, and we want the narrative.
It's going to go get it. It's going to go get the correct PA.
Oh, it already does. So that's already part of the system. Like for a perio case, it goes and gets the perio chart, all the relevant radiographs, and attaches it and sends it. So this is our...
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You like it, huh? That's awesome. I don't know, Michael, what I think I love Oryx and I like what they have to offer. Again, gonna click the link below. Any other questions from you, Michael, or Dr. Rania? Do you have any last things you want to share?
I mean, it's really great to be on this show. Oryx has a lot to offer. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million features that
you mentioned something to us before about startups in particular, because they, financially, they've got so many expenses and no money coming in. I love that what you had told us about that promotion or something that you offer. What was that?
Yeah, so we're growing so rapidly with the startups. We have now a huge community of startups because I had a startup myself, and my sister had her pedo startup, and she's like, I'm worried. When are you going to start charging me? What if I don't have patients? So I'm like, when do you feel comfortable paying? And she's like, once I hit 200 patients, I feel like I'm in a good place. So I'm like, okay, I want you to learn the software. And be able to offer online scheduling, everything that you need to offer, and start paying me when you feel comfortable. So it was at the 200 patients. And then they're like, okay, it's great for all startups. It removes a huge burden.
That's great. So
thank you, sister. Thank you, sister, for providing this service for startups. So make that clear. They can have the software prior, but they don't get charged until they've hit 200 patients.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why I like that so much? I like it because as startup consultants, we're always putting together credentialing. We're trying to get their marketing going. We're designing advertisements and helping them with mailers or whatever the case might be, right? If it's social media, heck, we might even be going to some event where we're passing out Frisbees. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. The thing about having a software or having the availability of a software is being able to put the QR code or some link where all people have to do is click and go right to online scheduling as soon as maybe months before we're even ready to create a VIP list. the other thing is yeah, we always have to wait for the IT guys and gals to install all the computers, right? And so we always have to get this sandbox version and start scheduling
Put it on
and
the laptop and then transfer it. And it's this whole, when do we get it? Because we don't want you paying this big fee. And then your project gets postponed. So there's all kinds of things around a server-based
Right.
software that can make it very challenging at the end before you open. So that it is great that you offer that. Affordability in general. I don't know if you even want to share that. Are there different bundles? Is it just all one price? Is it not that anyone would ever want to stop, but is it a contract? Is it just month to month? Like, tell us just a little bit, or what you feel comfortable telling.
Yeah, sure. It's 3 different bundles. The Pro bundle is basically everything you need to run the practice. The next level up is automate. So everything that you had in the previous bundle, but now it's automated, it's doing the work for you, and it saves about 40 hours a week for an established office. And the last tier is AI. So you get all the AI features. Okay. And I would say we're very competitively priced. If you compare every service we offer compared to having on-prem and third-party add-ons, the saving is 50 to 70%. And people never realize it. They're like, I pay $200 for my on-prem software. And I'm like, okay, what are you paying for reminders? What are you paying for forms? Exactly. What are you paying for your server that you change every 3 to 5 years? And then you start adding this up, and they're like, oh my God, I pay $2,600, $2,500, $1,800. It's
yeah.
So you said you can do claim submission through?
Yeah.
Is it per attachment, or does it just come with that bundle?
No, it just comes with all the bundles, and it's all unlimited.
Okay. Love that.
Paula's trying to do last minute. She just keeps peppering more questions.
No, I just talked to a startup today about software, and I, just always, that's what I'm always doing is, what software should I go with?
It's such a robust and important thing. It's such an important decision too, because it's really difficult to get off of a software once you get your team trained and the patient's familiar with all the things. And so it is a big decision. And we have had folks go with one and flip over to another, and it's just it's not fun. So it's a big decision. There's a lot of choices out there. We chose to interview you guys because of the noise in a good way that you've made in the marketplace. So congratulations to you and your husband for creating something so cool and dynamic and robust. And if you would like to give our listeners or clients something special, we can talk offline and maybe put that in the description below. But thank you so much for being on the program, and congratulations again for putting a great program or product out there.
Thank you so much for having me. And just to make you feel better, 90% of our clients come referred from other users. We spend very little on marketing. We're the fastest growing cloud software, and it's all referral based. So
nice.
That's incredible. Well, way to put an exclamation point to the show today. So good job. Thank you so much. And it was a pleasure meeting you. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Let us know how you like the show. Rate us on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe and follow for more.